Hope you're enjoying the music right now on Gold FM. Only the classic hits, especially if you're spending your time at home or around the office. I certainly hope you're taking it easy and enjoying the music coming your way. Well, I got a whole lot more to keep you moving and to keep you going right up until you reach lock-off time. I'm Kara. Join me every weekday from 2 to 7 on The Ride, only on Gold FM.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on घर संसार, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Tonight, government announces fuel price increase from midnight tonight. Fiji calls for more support from the European Union for ACP countries. Another Chinese national fined for not declaring foreign currency. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. Consumers will have to dig deep into their pockets for LPG and petroleum products from midnight tonight. The Fiji Commerce Commission has announced a major increase across the board for the price of liquefied petroleum gas and petrol. The prices are going up from 4 to 8% on various products. Chanel Sivan reports.
There has been a 6% increase in the price of 4.5 kg cylinder of gas. Customers will be paying $17.25. A 12 kg cylinder will cost $45.90. Premix will cost $2.55 a litre, an increase of 4% from its current price of $2.45. The price of kerosene has increased from $1.76 to $1.90 a litre. Motor spirit will cost $2.62, an increase of 13 cents. A litre of diesel will cost $2.37. A litre of autogas will cost $2.17 from $2.05. Reactions from members of the public were swift following the announcement at midday today.
If the prices of all those things has gone up, so must be the prices of the salaries of the workers should go up too, so they can cope up with these prices.
Prices has gone up. As a business owner, we have to increase our food prices as from today.
धंधा तो कैसे बिजनेस चली हम लोग के गैस के दाम ऊपर केरोसिन के दाम ऊपर तो लकड़ी खोजे पड़ी है हम लोग के.
It's no good. How we'll celebrate our Diwali?
The price increase in the fuel is not good, and I think how will we survive? The job is getting slack day by day. We can't make the income. We can't take out our wages. We don't know what will happen. What will happen?
The Fiji Commerce Commission says the increase are unavoidable.
Well, in this quota, in the upcoming quota, is winter in the Eurozone, and winter drives up demand substantially. Coupled with increased economic activity in Indonesia, in the Asian region, particularly in Indonesia, as well as the conflict in the Middle East, which is affecting supply. So demand and supply both have contributed to increases in prices of petroleum products.
Dr. Reddy says the government is also concerned at the price increase and it is monitoring the economic situation in the country.
This is something which is beyond the control of Fiji as a small country, which is a price taker.
Dr. Reddy says Fiji consumes a significant amount of fuel and we do not have any say to the price given to us by the international suppliers. The government is said to be in the process of positioning Fiji to be less exposed to international fluctuations in energy by using tax incentives to encourage investment in renewable energy and by making a direct investment in domestic biofuel production. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
It has taken close to 6 years of reforms to revive Fiji's sugar industry. Now the threat of the European Union's removal of market access could have a significant impact on sugar-producing nations like ours. Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama called on the EU to show more support and understanding toward African, Caribbean and Pacific countries while opening of the ACP Ministerial Conference on Sugar in Singatoka this morning. Christopher Chand reports.
Fiji wasted no time in telling the European Union what implications their bullying tactics will have on ACP countries.
In Fiji's case, 200,000 people, or more than 30% of all Fijians, In some ACP countries, sugar exports accounts for more than 1/4 of GDP and 85% of total agricultural exports. Now more than ever, we need a united front and at the same time understanding and a fair deal from our European partners.
While the negotiations on an Economic Partnership Agreement, or EPA, continues to drag on, the threat of an end to EU market access next year and the end of EU quotas by 2017 will be devastating.
It threatens to remove access despite the fact that negotiations on full EPAs are incomplete. This premature end of market access could prove to be the disastrous for the livelihoods and lives of the citizens in many ACP countries. Consequently, it would also be detrimental to ACP-EU relations.
And while the EU claims they have funded over $136 million into Fiji's sugar sector since 2006, the government says this support has not been forthcoming.
For Fiji, this support has been sorely lacking. Disbursement of the Promise Accompanying Measure Support Program has been politicized, and Fiji has not received the fair share owed to it.
Like other ACP countries present at the meeting, Fiji hopes a fair deal will be reached with the EU for the survival and long-term viability of the sugar industry. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
The 13th ACP ministerial meeting on sugar got underway at the Shangri-La's Fijian resort in Singatoka this morning. A traditional welcome ceremony was accorded to delegates from ACP countries that are here to discuss the future of the sugar industry. ACP Sugar Group Chairman Satya Vayash Paugu says the conference is taking place at a crucial time when there are serious challenges facing the sector in the international scene. He says they hope to address these issues in detail, taking stock of the latest developments and assess the likely implications of the end of the EU sugar quotas for ACP suppliers.
The sugar industry, over its very long history, has been subject to several challenges and threats. Periods of boom and bust have been a common feature in most of our countries. We have all witnessed significant erosion of preferences for ACP sugar to the EU market that were agreed has been the most daunting one for most ACP countries.
This is the fourth time that Fiji is hosting the meeting. The last was in 2007. A former Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority employee has been sentenced to 12 years imprisonment for money laundering. Robin Surya was charged and convicted of money laundering by the Suva High Court. Surya was employed at the Inland Revenue Section at FERCA and had powers to approve tax returns. Between March 2008 and September 2010, he illegally approved returns and deposited them into friends' and family's accounts, from which he later withdrew. He received a total of $350,000. A police search was conducted at his office, and most of the documents of tax returns were missing. Judge Justice Paul Madigan told Surya he had dishonestly diverted government revenue from which none of the money can be traced. Surya must serve a minimum of 10 years. A Chinese national has been handed a fine for failing to declare foreign currency in his possession at Nadi International Airport. 48-year-old Sinhua Kao has been fined $7,500 by the Nadi Magistrates Court today. Kao arrived into Fiji on the 8th of this month on board a Korean air flight transiting to Solomon Islands to visit his son. Authorities discovered assorted foreign currency valued at over $23,000 in his possession and detained him. His fine is to be paid from the money seized by custom officials. The court has also ordered that after his fine is paid, he is to be placed in the care of immigration authorities for immediate departure to the Solomon Islands, as he has no valid visa to stay in Fiji. Still to come on FBC News, Gaunda Shipping to venture out of inter-island shipping soon.
Nisambulo binaka oya wone kamanalangi oni nandorungo diao mena diwa kina rua na bisinga mena moniti kina bagarumbuka na Radio Fiji wana ndoma ibiti bongani bionyano nama katalangana bengo na sasibiani na tinna kaloka na bembongi ni bukilulu kena bima mani walu na bembongi ni bakaruwai mena mbuza ni balu ninge namaka.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है, 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च एफएम, मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. Gaunda Shipping Services will soon no longer provide inter-island service. This is because the company is preparing to serve Papua New Guinea and Tuvalu. Managing Director George Gaunda says both ships, the Lomaiviti 1 and 2, will be used. Vasita Kotai Wasawasa reports.
The company has decided to venture out of the country due to the demand from the local commercial sector as well as from the region. According to George Gander, apart from cargo, they will also cater for passengers.
We'll be venturing into that area now, and lately we've been getting calls from the local people here who wants to travel to PNG. And as you know, the requirements of PNG has been softened between the two governments, and it's a good win-win situation for the public in Fiji.
Gander adds that they will be using their own crew for the 2 trips. The first trip to Tuvalu is expected in December.
We're starting the Tuvalu one as soon as the Lomaiviti Princess 1 gets back from PNG. We're hoping to get back on the 15th of November. Then the first week of December when we start our Tuvalu operation and Tuma.
With the festive season just around the corner, Gander has confirmed that they will not be servicing local routes.
We'll be focusing on the Pacific Island. I think so. The local industry, as you know, the freight for the last 20 years has been frozen, and it's affecting our business. The fuel cost is heavy, and as I said, Gaunda Shipping is 83% of our expense is fuel.
Tuvalu's Deputy High Commissioner to Fiji, Abafoa Irata, says they are happy with the new service, which will be beneficial to the people. Posita Kote Wasamasa, FBC News.
The Fiji National Council for Disabled Persons is working on a cabinet paper to provide homes for those with disabilities. The council believes home ownership for those with disabilities will enlighten the challenges they face.
A survey carried out by the Fijian National Council for Disabled Persons on the living environment of some disabled persons and the challenges they face triggered the project.
It's about time that we've come up with a cabinet paper that will be able to help people with disabilities living in Fiji to acquire decent residential accommodation around the country.
Dr. Sitipeni Nutawa says only some people living with disabilities will benefit from the project.
Seems to be challenged with finances, with money. We've been challenged with proper education, just for the sole reason that they were not able to access into this educational institution to try and upgrade their lives.
The council believes having a home will help the disabled person look after himself.
The main goal when we create accommodations for persons with disabilities in any part of the world is to create a safe and an independent environment. We haven't got that in Fiji.
The proposal will be submitted to Cabinet soon. The council is hopeful it will be endorsed. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
The Land Transport Authority is pushing to be recognized as an organization that delivers services of international standard. Their campaign started today with the training on standards they need to achieve to be certified by the world's largest developer of standards, the Geneva-based International Organization for Standardization, or ISO. Mika Longa explains.
Although LTA monopolizes vehicle licensing, registration, fitness and standard compliance, it feels there's still more to be done to raise the level of service delivery and to be recognized.
One of the KPIs in our corporate plan for our LTA to be ISO certified.
Conducted by the Fiji National University, the training focuses on the quality management system set by the International Organization for Standardization.
Quality management system is a way the organization carry out its business associated with quality. Why do organizations go for quality management certification? QMS is evaluating how and why things are done, writing down how things are done, and not just writing and forgetting about it, but following those and recording results to show that they were done.
The benefits of having an ISO quality management system include enhanced reputation, performance with fewer defects in claim, better planning and communication, and greater customer satisfaction.
We're aiming for the excellence of the best one, and we know that very, very important that we first of all have to put all our processes, our systems in order and get it to the best. And come next year, we want to see that we get the number one.
To be certified by the ISO, the LTA needs to rid of all the malfunctions of its service delivery and fix all the inconsistencies between its divisions and make sure they're all on the same page and delivering the same results at the end of every working day. Once this is achieved, the LTA can proudly become a member of the ISO international family. Mikolonga, FBC News.
The use of vaccines has controlled many communicable diseases and eliminated some globally, but the proper management of vaccines is essential. Today, health representatives from Pacific Island countries gathered in Suva to talk about vaccine management and cold chain maintenance. According to Health Minister Dr. Neil Sharma, many children in Fiji are now protected against well over 13 disease entities by vaccination under the expanded program on immunization. He told the participants across the region implementing the EPI has its problems, but they need to become proactive and pro-efficient to overcome the hurdles.
The obvious output is high levels of vaccination and protection against communicable diseases by addressing our challenges in maritime transportation, ambient temperature maintenance, and reducing our wastage of vaccines by expiry.
The week-long training is funded by the Japanese International Aid Agency. That time again, and we welcome Jamie back for another week of sports.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up after the break, top corporate bodies sign on today as major sponsors of free-to-air EPL coverage on FBCTV, and Ben Ryan already drawing up plans for the next leg of the 7 Series. Details after the break.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला, पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Humble in victory and gracious in defeat. That's one way you can describe this year's Courts Inter-District Championship winners. The men in black stole the show from Nandi at Lautoka's Churchill Park yesterday in a thrilling 2-1 win in extra time. Frustration stemmed and tears were shed, but as Elena McDonald reports, while Mba finished on top, the men in black will be keeping celebrations small.
In the IDC final, Nandi's early lead raised the din of the crowd. Then, a successful penalty by Avinesh Swami equalized the points, which kept fans on their toes in extra time. But it was this crafty footwork from Abu Zaid, which many fans are sure to emulate. Minute of play, sneaks in, he races away, the Bar fans jump in joy.
To the team of Bar, to my mom, and to the people who always cheer me and who guide me to become a good striker and play for Bar.
The win was one for the record books, with the Lloyd Fairbrother Trophy being lifted for the last time.
This was our 12th final from 2011, and we have proved that we are the most consistent team in Fiji. And this victory in 1961, when we first won, Mira Sami played, and then his son Bimal Sami played a lot of victories, and we know that this is the last IDC Cup, and the trophy will be changed. And Naren Rao Jr. played, so 3 generations, another world record, and I'm so proud of the achievement of Bar Football Association.
Celebrations will be kept to a minimum, though, as they set their sights on plans for the new season.
Well, we know that we have qualified for the Champions League, and we'll be using the National League games to build ourselves. And this year, to all the listeners out there, Bar Football Association will be using local talents for the O-League Championship.
So a memorable win for Bar and an unlucky result for Nandi. Either way, a good 5 days of football until the new season approaches. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Digicel Fiji Sevens team arrives back into the country early tomorrow morning, and with a month before the Dubai tournament, head coach Ben Ryan has already mapped out his preparation plans.
I'll have a month with them. I'm going to work them very hard. If they keep the attitude that they've had in the last week, where they've just got their heads down and worked, and I bring in players that I'll see playing in tournaments over the coming fortnight, then that's all I can ask as a coach. But one thing I can guarantee you, when they run onto the field in Dubai, they'll be a lot fitter, and they'll be better than they were this weekend.
Thanks, Ben.
Fiji is currently 5th on the IRB World 7 Series points table with 13 points, while New Zealand leads with 22, Australia with 19, England on 17, and South Africa on 15 points. And finally in sports, ACT Brumbies winger Henry Spade may have to wait a few more months to don a Wallabies jumper. Coach Ewan McKenzie has been impressed by Spade's dynamic attacking abilities, and the Fiji-born flyer was expected to be part of the Wallabies tour of the Northern Hemisphere. But an IRB directive stipulates the 25-year-old will become eligible in the week of the team's final tour test against Wales on November 30th. Spade has been held back because of his 2011 stint with Waikato in the ITM Cup competition in New Zealand. The Wallabies face the All Blacks next weekend in the Bledisloe Cup clash ahead of their Europe tour, and Spade's Brumbies teammate and fellow Fijian Tevita Kurindrani has been named in that 32-man squad. Spade is expected to wait until June next year when the Wallabies host the French in a 3-test series. That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The NZ Bank has no immediate plans to restart opening on weekends. Earlier this year, the bank ceased weekend operations at some of its branches, and Chief Executive Vishnu Mohan says this decision was made after a thorough evaluation. Mohan says they will assess customer needs and demands before deciding whether to resume opening on Saturdays at some branches.
It will all be based on customer needs and customer demand. We did spend a lot of time deliberating as to whether that's continuation of the weekend operations was feasible or not. In our own internal exercise, we found that it wasn't.
He says if necessary, then they will make adjustments. However, it will be done in consultation with the Reserve Bank of Fiji.
So Jackie, how does it feel having another Spade in the news?
Well, I can't see myself playing rugby, so we won't be switching places anytime soon.
Thank goodness for that. Rugby aside, let's take a look at the map. Wonderful weather today, except for that one cloud here. It was a perfectly sunny day for everyone. Considering we didn't win over the weekend, something had to go right. Both Bar and Mombasa are on 32 degrees today, which just happens to be the warmest. Savusavu's fairly cool on 28, Suva following closely on 29. Now we have rain forecast tomorrow for Suva and the Hidden Paradise, but this should happen towards the afternoon. Besides that, it's more sunshine all round. However, keep in mind that a strong wind warning remains in force for all Fiji waters. Leaving you now with a lovely picture of Makuluva. Had a hard time pronouncing that earlier. Located near Nukulau Island. And that was weather. Do take care and keep those photos coming in.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Before we leave the headlines, once again, government announces fuel price increase from midnight tonight. Fiji calls for more support from the European Union for ACP countries, and another Chinese national fined for not declaring foreign currency. Now on to the results from last week's poll question. Our question was, will live EPL games on FBCTV help develop local soccer? 74% answered yes. This week, we're asking, should the selection of the Digicel Fiji Sevens team be totally controlled by Ben Ryan? Visit our website to take part. Remember, you can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's News Tonight. Until tomorrow, good night.
Isambul binaka. Nedango wadi sori ndalai. Nama kyo mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi. Maina tolu kina bitu. Ena moni dingina por rombuka. Ena Mbula FM. Na bandu ena serre.
Now that's just another groove to kickstart your morning.
That's right. Good morning, Fiji. It's Gold FM bringing you the classic hits to fine-tune your morning.
And Fila still trying to fine-tune her voice.
And as always, Pedali still trying to wake up.
Now this is where you'll find us every morning from Monday to Friday.
On Daybreak with Pedali and Fina from 6 to 9. Join us.